Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The actions and activities assigned to or required or expected of a person or group. Play its role. What something is used for. An actor's portrayal of someone in a play. Normal or customary activity of a person in a particular social setting. What is your role on the team? The actions and activities assigned to or required or expected of a person or group. The function of a teacher. Perform as expected when applied. Mathematics. A mathematical relation such that each element of a given set, the domain of the function, is associated with an element of another set, the range of the function. A vaguely specified social event. A seemingly endless round of social functions. Serve a purpose, role, or function. The table functions as a desk. What something is used for. The function of an auger is to bore holes. A set sequence of steps, part of larger computer program. Perform duties attached to a particular office or place or function. A formal or official social gathering or ceremony. It was a black tie function. A relation such that one thing is dependent on another. Height as a function of age. A job in an organization. The actions and activities assigned to or required or expected of a person or group. Professional or clerical workers in an office. The whole office was late the morning of the blizzard. Of a government or government official, holding an office means being in power. Being in office already gives a candidate a great advantage. Place of business where professional or clerical duties are performed. He rented an office in the new building. An administrative unit of government. A religious rite or service prescribed by ecclesiastical authorities. The offices of the Mass. The effort contributed by a person in bringing about a result. The actions and activities assigned to or required or expected of a person or group. The government must do its part. To some extent, in some degree, not wholly. I felt partly to blame. Assets belonging to or due to or contributed by an individual person or group. A portion of a natural object. They analyzed the river into 3 parts. Something less than the whole of a human artifact. The rear part of the house. One of the portions into which something is regarded as divided and which together constitute a whole. The written part of the exam. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The business partners broke over a tax question. The melody carried by a particular voice or instrument in polyphonic music. He tried to sing the tenor part. Force, take, or pull apart. Moses parted the Red Sea. An item that is an instance of some type. My dog swallowed a Lego part. A line of scalp that can be seen when sections of hair are combed in opposite directions. His part was right in the middle. Leave. The extended spatial location of something. Religions in all parts of the world. Go one's own way. Move apart. The friends separated after the party. Something determined in relation to something that includes it. He wanted to feel a part of something bigger than himself. An actor's portrayal of someone in a play. She played the part of Desdemona. Come apart. That which concerns a person with regard to a particular role or situation. It requires vigilance on our part. Reach a decision. An anticipated outcome that is intended or that guides your planned actions. What something is used for. The quality of being determined to do or achieve something. Firmness of purpose. He is a man of purpose. Propose or intend. Exerting shrewd or devious influence, especially for one's own advantage. Use up, consume fully. Avail oneself to. Use care when going down the stairs. Economics. The utilization of economic goods to satisfy needs or in manufacturing. The act of using. He warned against the use of narcotic drugs. Take or consume, regularly or habitually. She uses drugs rarely. What something is used for. Ballet is beautiful, but what use is it? Psychology. An automatic pattern of behavior in reaction to a specific situation. May be inherited or acquired through frequent repetition. Long use had hardened him to it. Law. The exercise of the legal right to enjoy the benefits of owning property. We were given the use of his boat. Put into service. Make work or employ for a particular purpose or for its inherent or natural purpose. Use your head. A particular service. He put his knowledge to good use. Habitually do something or be in a certain state or place, use only in the past tense. She used to call her mother every week, but now she calls only occasionally. Seek or achieve an end by using to one's advantage. She uses her influential friends to get jobs. A formal recommendation by a former employer to a potential future employer describing the person's qualifications and dependability. Requests for character references are all too often answered evasively. A person of a specified kind, usually with many eccentricities. A real character. The inherent complex of attributes that determines a person's moral and ethical actions and reactions. Education has for its object the formation of character. An imaginary person represented in a work of fiction, play or film or story. She is the main character in the novel. A written symbol that is used to represent speech. The Greek alphabet has 24 characters. A characteristic property that defines the apparent individual nature of something. The radical character of our demands. An actor's portrayal of someone in a play. Engrave or inscribe characters on. Genetics. An attribute, structural or functional, that is determined by a gene or group of genes. Good repute. He is a man of character. Jungian psychology, a personal facade that one presents to the world. An actor's portrayal of someone in a play. An actor's portrayal of someone in a play. The social force that binds you to the courses of action demanded by that force. We must instill a sense of duty in our children. A government tax on imports or exports. Work that you are obliged to perform for moral or legal reasons. The quality of being of practical use. Computer science. A program designed for general support of the processes of a computer. A computer system provides utility programs to perform the tasks needed by most users. The quality of being of practical use. Used a beef. Usable but inferior. A company that performs a public service, subject to government regulation. Capable of substituting in any of several positions on a team. A utility infielder. A facility composed of one or more pieces of equipment connected to or part of a structure and designed to provide a service such as heat or electricity or water or sewage disposal. Economics. A measure that is to be maximized in any situation involving choice. The service, electric power or water or transportation, provided by a public utility. The passing of a law by a legislative body. A legal document codifying the result of deliberations of a committee or society or legislative body. Acting the part of a character on stage, dramatically representing the character by speech and action and gesture. Representation by drawing or painting, etc. Any likeness of a person, in any medium. A representation by picture or portraiture. A word picture of a person's appearance and character. Acting the part of a character on stage, dramatically representing the character by speech and action and gesture. Imitating the mannerisms of another person. Acting the part of a character on stage, dramatically representing the character by speech and action and gesture. The act of describing distinctive characteristics or essential features. The media's characterization of Al Gore as a nerd. Acting the part of a character on stage, dramatically representing the character by speech and action and gesture. A graphic or vivid verbal description. The pamphlet contained brief characterizations of famous Vermonters. An organic process that takes place in the body. Respiratory activity. The state of being active. His sphere of activity. The trait of being active, moving or acting rapidly and energetically. The level of activity declines with age. A process existing in or produced by nature, rather than by the intent of human beings. Volcanic activity. Any specific behavior. They avoided all recreational activity. Chemistry. The capacity of a substance to take part in a chemical reaction. Catalytic activity. A large, flat, thin case for carrying loose papers or drawings or maps, usually leather. He remembered her because she was carrying a large portfolio. A list of the financial assets held by an individual or a bank or other financial institution. They were disappointed by the poor returns on their stock portfolio. A set of pieces of creative work collected to be shown to potential customers or employers. The artist had put together a portfolio of his work. The role of the head of a government department. He holds the portfolio for foreign affairs. A condition or position in which you find yourself. The unpleasant situation, or position, of having to choose between two evils. A job in an organization. The spatial property of a place where or way in which something is situated. The position of the hands on the clock. The particular portion of space occupied by something. A rationalized mental attitude. An opinion that is held in opposition to another in an argument or dispute. A way of regarding situations or topics, etc. The arrangement of the body and its limbs. The relative position or standing of things or especially persons in a society. Atheists do not enjoy a favorable position in American life. A point occupied by troops for tactical reasons. Put into a certain place or abstract location. The act of putting something in a certain place. An item on a list or in a sequence. Moved from third to fifth position. The post or function properly or customarily occupied or served by another. Cause to be in an appropriate place, state, or relation. In team sports, the role assigned to an individual player. What position does he play? The act of positing, an assumption taken as a postulate or axiom. The appropriate or customary location. The cars were in position. Someone who serves in a subordinate capacity or plays a secondary role. A secondary role or function. He hated to play second fiddle to anyone. The post or function properly or customarily occupied or served by another. Can you go in my stead? The post or function properly or customarily occupied or served by another. In lieu of. Headdress that protects the head from bad weather, has shaped crown and usually a brim. An informal term for a person's role. He took off his politician's hat and talked frankly. Furnish with a hat. Put on or wear a hat. He was unsuitably hatted. A job in an organization. Assign a location to. A point located with respect to surface features of some region. This is a nice place for a picnic. Assign a rank or rating to. The particular portion of space occupied by something. He put the lamp back in its place. A particular situation. If you were in my place, what would you do? Assigned to a station. A space reserved for sitting, as in a theater or on a train or airplane. He sat in someone else's place. Recognize as being. Establish the identity of someone or something. Where you live at a particular time. Your place or mine. Identify the location or place of. Locate. Take a place in a competition, often followed by an ordinal. Put into a certain place or abstract location. A public square with room for pedestrians. Make an investment. Proper or designated social situation. He overstepped his place. A blank area. Any area set aside for a particular purpose. Who owns this place? Estimate. An item on a list or in a sequence. In the second place. Intend, something, to move towards a certain goal. The post or function properly or customarily occupied or served by another. Took his place. A general vicinity. He comes from a place near Chicago. An abstract mental location. He has a special place in my thoughts. Assigned to, a job or a home. Finish second or better in a horse or dog race. He bet $2 on number 6 to place. Place somebody in a particular situation or location. He was placed on probation. Proper or appropriate position or location. A woman's place is no longer in the kitchen. Sing a note with the correct pitch. The passage that is being read. He lost his place on the page. To arrange for. Place a phone call. The amount that can be contained. The gas tank has a capacity of 12 gallons. An electrical phenomenon whereby an electric charge is stored. The susceptibility of something to a particular treatment. The power to learn or retain knowledge. In law, the ability to understand the facts and significance of your behavior. A specified function. He was employed in the capacity of director. Capability to perform or produce. Among his gifts is his capacity for true altruism. Computer science, the amount of information, in bytes, that can be stored on a disk drive. The capacity of a hard disk drive is usually expressed in megabytes. The maximum production possible. The plant is working at 80% capacity. Tolerance for alcohol. He had drunk beyond his capacity. Reason for being. The purpose that justifies a thing's existence. The role of the character after whom the play is named. Slowly, as if burdened by much weight. Time hung heavy on their hands. Lacking lightness or liveliness. Heavy humor. Slow and laborious because of weight. The heavy tread of tired troops. Of great gravity or crucial import, requiring serious thought. Heavy matters of state. Requiring or showing effort. Heavy breathing. Full of, bearing great weight. Trees heavy with fruit. Prodigious. Heavy investor. Darkened by clouds. A heavy sky. Used of soil, compact and fine-grained. The clay soil was heavy and easily saturated. In an advanced stage of pregnancy. Usually describes a large person who is fat but has a large frame to carry it. Permitting little if any light to pass through because of denseness of matter. Heavy fog. Full and loud and deep. Heavy sounds. Of sleep, deep and complete. A heavy sleep. Given to excessive indulgence of bodily appetites, especially for intoxicating liquors. Characterized by effort to the point of exhaustion, especially physical effort. Heavy work. An actor who plays villainous roles. A serious, or tragic, role in a play. Dense or inadequately leavened and hence likely to cause distress in the alimentary canal. A heavy pudding. Large and powerful, especially designed for heavy loads or rough work. A heavy truck. Made of fabric having considerable thickness. A heavy coat. Marked by great psychological weight. Weighted down especially with sadness or troubles or weariness. A heavy heart. Of an actor or role, being or playing the villain. Iago is the heavy role in Othello. Of comparatively great physical weight or density. A heavy load. Of great intensity or power or force. A heavy blow. Of relatively large extent and density. A heavy line. Physics, chemistry, being or containing an isotope with greater than average atomic mass or weight. Heavy hydrogen. Sharply inclined. A heavy grade. Unusually great in degree or quantity or number. Heavy taxes. Of the military or industry, using, or being, the heaviest and most powerful armaments or weapons or equipment. Heavy artillery. A large sandwich made of a long crusty roll split lengthwise and filled with meats and cheese, and tomato and onion and lettuce and condiments. Different names are used in different sections of the United States. Greek mathematician and inventor who devised a way to determine the area of a triangle and who described various mechanical devices, 1st century. Someone who fights for a cause. A man distinguished by exceptional courage and nobility and strength. RAF pilots were the heroes of the Battle of Britain. Classical mythology. A being of great strength and courage celebrated for bold exploits, often the offspring of a mortal and a god. Greek mythology. Priestess of Aphrodite who killed herself when her lover Leander drowned while trying to swim the Hellespont to see her. The principal character in a play or movie or novel or poem. A woman possessing heroic qualities or a woman who has performed heroic deeds. The main good female character in a work of fiction. An actress who specializes in playing the role of an artless innocent young girl. An artless innocent young girl, especially as portrayed on the stage. The role of an innocent artless young woman in a play.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.